Hi, I'm josephrlewis, and I write adventures. But why? Why adventures? Why do we have them? Who uses them? What are they for? Maybe we spent so much time wondering if we could, we didn't stop to think if we should. So let's talk about what adventures are actually for, and who they're for, and why we write them. So, I often listen to Mike Shea's Sly Flourish podcast, mostly for the weekly news about the RPG industry. And if you're not familiar, he also writes his own content and his own books, which includes his Lazy Dungeon Master books. And there are 8 steps for lazy GM prep. Basically, his 8 steps are a system of how every week you can spend just 30 to 60 minutes prepping for your next gaming session by following his steps and answering certain questions and structuring your information in a certain way. So, over time, I've heard Mike Shea say several times in several ways that GMs don't really need published adventures because they can prepare their own material, which makes sense as someone who sells books about how to prep your own material. And of course, this is perfectly true. We can all prep our own material, invent our own adventures week to week to match our players' interests, to match our own interests, and just put a little bit more adventure in front of the party every week. So for a long time, I've had the idea just rattling around in my head that there are basically 2 types of GMs. There are those who like to do their weekly GM prep and build their own adventures every week to week before each session. And there are those who like to run published adventures, and these are just stylistic choices or personal choices. And I have found from my own experience that I am definitely in that second group. I like published adventures, whether written by someone else or written by me. And mostly that's because I have found that when I am building an adventure week to week based on whatever is going on, from last week's session, this stresses me out a great deal. I show up to every session feeling unprepared or underprepared. I have a bad time in between the sessions. I don't enjoy the prep. And then I have a bad time during the session because I'm scrambling around through these notes and they don't feel right or they don't feel good enough. And I'm worried about what the party's going to do. And I worry that I don't know enough about my world or the NPCs or what the players could do. And it just creates a lot of anxiety in me. But that's me. I'm an anxious person. Whereas, when I run a published adventure, either one that I wrote or that someone else wrote, I don't do any work in between my sessions, and I show up to every session feeling calm and confident that all I need to do is read whatever's on the page, listen to what my players are doing, and do some funny voices. I enjoy that style of play as a GM very much more. And part of this is because, again, somewhere between choosing the adventures and writing the adventures, I don't find that there's any reason to prep a written adventure. I don't go through with a highlighter. I don't change or modify or convert anything. All I do is run as written, and I have a great time. So this worldview seemed fine to me. There are 2 types of GMs, those who like the weekly prep and those who don't. And that's fine. That's good. Easy. Clear. But then, several weeks ago, I was listening to Mike Shea, as I often do, and he was talking about his system for GM prep, and he had a patron question asking about feeling stressed out or unprepared as a GM. And after some preamble, Mike Shea said that even he, the creator of the 8 steps for lazy GM prep, often shows up to his sessions feeling nervous and unprepared. In fact, he said that feeling is constant, and it is a feeling you always have as a GM. And his position was that this feeling is normal, and we need to accept that GMing is inherently stressful, and just set that feeling aside and try to enjoy the game anyway. Well, I don't wanna. I don't want my hobby to be stressful. I don't want to feel nervous and unprepared between or during my games, because it feels bad. I don't want to feel bad when I'm gaming. And this is why I, and maybe you, like published adventures. The prep is all done. The adventure is complete. The rooms are full. The NPCs and plots and factions are all sorted out. And we, as the GMs, can simply show up to the table and trust the writer to have done our work for us, so we can just play and have fun with our friends. And that is what I think adventures are for. None of this is to cast any shade at Mike Shea. I think he seems like a super nice guy. I've seen him around at the cons, He seems to have a ton of experience and insight, and he's created a lot of cool stuff. But I've just noticed this clear division as we were walking through the Yellowwood on the paths that we have taken. And though they may appear very similar, I think they have very different feelings as we walk down them. So I felt it was worth saying. I don't like being stressed, and you may not either. And published adventures may be a way to take away some of that stress of GMing. So, to bring us back to the question that got us here, why run published adventures? I think this is why. I think this is what they're for. They're for taking away some of the work and some of the stress so that we as GMs can enjoy the play and be players at our tables. And that's all for this week, so good luck out there. Hey everyone, if you like this content and you want to see more, or if you just want to support the channel, you can head over to my Patreon, where I have a whole bunch of stuff being queued up. We have dev notes for my adventures, we have my fantasy novels, we have early access to videos, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So please go check out my Patreon at patreon.com/josephrlewis. Thanks.